No maize today? Oh. Hold on. Let me close out of the. Oh, hey. I'm talking here. Babbling Hake. How you guys doing? Oh, Nick, can you play the in the music folder, there is a video file. Just play that video file. It has the music in it. Oh, no. I'm here with Bigg Bump. Bigg Bump's going to be co-hosting with me today. And this is Bigg Bump's contribution because Hake is honoring Black History Month by the, what are they called? Jubalaires. Say it again.
Jubalaires.
Oh, Noah. Enjoy your musical Philistines. Here is your Black History Month contribution. Just play that that video file. Nice. I think. we have Nick filling in for Hassan today. And Nick is not as fast as Hassan. Here it is.
Well, it's over and over. Oh, no, oh, no, I'm going to ride on the winning tide. Well, it's over and over. Oh, no, oh, no, I'm going to ride on the winning tide. Brother Noah, my God's talking. Said he would ride on the wind and tide. Hey, children, stop still and listen to me. God walked down to the brandy sea. He declared that the aim of the sent of man, and then he decided to destroy the land. He spoke to Noah. Noah stopped. He said, Noah, I want you to build me an ark. I want you to build it 3 cubits long. I want you to build it big and strong. I want it 50 high and 50 wide so it will stand the wind and tide. It's oh, Noah, oh, Noah. Oh, no, I got to go to ride on the winning tide. Well, it's a oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, I got to go to ride on the winning tide. Got to go to ride on the winning tide. Got to go to ride on the winning tide. Oh, no, brother Noah, my God's talking. Said he would ride on the wind and tide. Well, after the foundation was laid, then Noah began to hew and build. The ringing of the hammer cried judgment, the hewing of the saw cried sin repent. 100 years he hammered and sawed, building the ark by the grace of God. Now when the ark was done, God's voice was heard. He said, now Noah, let me tell you what to do. Call in the animals 2 by 2, so he called them in the ark 2 by 2. He called the birds, the ox with the kangaroo. Then he called in Jubalaires, the ham and sham. Then God began to flood the land. He raised his hands to heaven on high, shook the stars and moon from the sky, shook the mountain, he troubled the sea, hit the wind to his chariot wheel. He stepped on land, stood on the shore, and declared that time there wouldn't be no more. But it's oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, I got to go right on the winning tide.
That's the crowd's going wild. Thank you for sharing that, Bigg Bump.
Right on.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That was once again, the Jubalaires, as in the Jubilee, year of Jubilee, right? Type of thing.
Yeah.
Circa 1946, I believe, featuring John Jennings, Orville Brooks, George McFadden, and Ted Brooks. The 4 black men with American names. The good old days.
The good old days.
The chat was saying from this to drill rap. And they're all dressed up. If you were not watching the video feed, say you're listening on audio podcast or live audio, that was 4 men in suits. Now Hake wears a T-shirt to work. Bigg Bump wearing a long sleeve T-shirt. What in the world? How blacks were back then. Clean music. Bring this back. We need it.
That's for sure.
Yes, indeed. I miss people dressing up in suits and dressing up in general, says it's the real Mr. Mad. Well, guys, thank you for bearing with me through the excellent Black History Month honoring. We're going to be talking about various things Deion Sanders. Do you want to introduce what topics we'll be touching on, Big Bump? We're going to try to get to them all.
Yeah, for sure. Deion Sanders will be one speaking about how he chooses players. The EPA director and his the EPA director. I'll just say that for now.
All right. Is it related to the train derailment thing?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He has his views that are, typical. I want to make a correction also to clarify a statement that I made last time. To clarify it.
Okay.
I didn't remember quite well at the time.
Sounds good.
And there was another one. Oh, Damar Hamlin, and sports related, of course. Have to bring in the sports. Damar Hamlin and his boss.
Okay.
Similarities that he has, something similar that his boss. They're very, very intertwined.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
his boss at the NFL?
NFL. Yeah.
Okay.
His Buffalo Bills boss.
Damar Hamlin's that guy who had the heart attack
on the field.
Right. Field, and his heart stopped a couple of times. They had to restart it. Okay. That sounds cool. Are you going to touch on do you still want to touch on the J.P. Morgan being all involved in the Globo Homo?
Yeah,
stuff?
Of course. Yeah. I wanted
They're going to rebuild Ukraine.
Right, yeah.
Big banks.
And that was another thing with the monopoly thing, the correction I wanted to make that, similarities to what we were talking about last time about the bankers.
You're the one who brought up that Rule 11 from Monopoly?
Right.
Okay. Right. I vaguely remembered that, and so I have the meme that you sent to me.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. So all that and your calls. Happy President's Day, everybody. And it's also known as Washington's birthday, and you can put the apostrophe wherever you want, depending on where you are. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? My voice is not blown out, is it? I see it touching red, but I'm not used to seeing these, and I like seeing these things, so I'm okay. Yeah. But am I blowing out? Because I talk loud sometimes. And they're saying, speak from the chest, Big Bump. Skunky X says, speak from the chest, Big Bump.
Right on.
Nice. And somebody's tripping out because you have a iron cross on your T-shirt. West Coast Choppers. Is that an iron cross?
Yes.
What is the iron cross? What does that mean?
I think it's a Germanic type symbolism. But like you said, this is West Coast Choppers, Long Beach, California.
Strong Beach.
Strong Beach.
They're from the West Coast Choppers. Is that a like a shop down there?
Yes. Yeah,
and are they famous for like a TV show or anything or no?
Well, I think they did have a TV show, but it was more of course, the motorcycle culture. Just in general, the store, all that.
Are they competitors with Harley Davidson, out of curiosity?
No, they do more customization.
Okay.
Speed, performance.
Apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Or at least apples and apple fritters. Something like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you could say that.
Like
right.
enhanced apples.
Yeah.
Right on. And a Dodgers hat. He has his Dodgers baseball cap on, signature. And Hake has his King of the Cage. I am King of the Cage.
It's funny you put that on because this morning when I threw this on, it's like, I don't ride bikes, but then I know you wear a King of the Cage shirt.
And I don't
fight. You
don't
fight. Yeah, so cool.
Right. Spiritual battles.
Metaphysically.
I struggle. I need to give up the struggle. Give up the war. Very cool. Let's jump right in with this Deion Sanders. How about?
Cool.
I feel like I'm hearing. Oh, I'm talking so loud that I'm picking up his mic is picking me up, huh? Is that what I'm hearing? Or something? Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah. Go ahead. Is
Okay.
that better?
Yeah. Oh, you had that one. Oh, okay, nice. So it had triple enhanced. All right. So Deion Sanders, I've heard of that guy. He was a famous football player.
Yeah. Very
Oh, and he
famous.
got in trouble with the blacks. Well, I don't know how much trouble he got in with the
Yeah.
blacks, but I'm told by black conservative callers that he went from a HBCU, historical
Right.
black college, to Colorado State University,
Yeah.
and pick up from there on this.
Okay. So, yeah, Deion Sanders is ex, a Hall of Famer, ex,
Yeah.
cornerback, punt returner, a great football player.
Quarterback or cornerback?
Corner.
What's cornerback?
Cornerback is defensive. He guards the receivers.
Oh, okay.
So he's typically
Oh,
one of
so
the
he's-
fastest
right.
athletic players on it. They may not be able to catch the ball, but they can.
Has he ever
They're
made an
fast.
interception?
Oh, plenty.
Okay. So he can catch.
Yeah, he
kinda.
can catch. Yeah, he can catch. So,
But his job is to mess with the guy trying to catch
Yeah.
the ball from the offense. Okay,
Right.
nice. I understand that much. Right on. So that's what cornerback is. Learn
corner.
something new.
Yeah,
Okay.
very specialized position. Doesn't have to deal with much, just speed and being able to cover the receiver. So it's not much thinking to it.
Is he a Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
He
he's a
turned Christian, or he became more serious?
Yeah, I read about a situation before that turned him.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he was a Christian before, but there was something that
Because
kinda-
all blacks are Christians.
all blacks are Christian.
Except for the ones that reject Christianity to go Muslim.
Yeah.
The slave
yeah,
religion.
Right. Yeah. That's funny because I almost sent it to you last night. There was the video of Muhammad Ali calling George Frazier Uncle Tom.
Right.
Yeah, I had never seen it. I just seen it
I
last
think
night.
I read about that in JLP's book, The
Oh,
Antidote,
okay. Right.
or
yeah.
something like that.
He was going off on him. Like,
Frazier was going, or
Yeah, no. Ali was going
Ali
off
was going
on
off on
Frazier.
Joe Frazier.
Cassius Clay was going off on
Right.
Joe Frazier.
Exactly.
And that was the reason he was continuously calling him Cassius Clay by his name,
Nice.
and Ali just didn't like it.
Right. It's kind of like me calling Kanye West Kanye
Yeah,
West
he's
rather than
Kanye
Ye.
West, yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was just a side note to that.
And it's funny because Joe Frazier was more of a field Negro. Didn't he grow up like picking
right, yeah, he was
cotton and all that stuff?
Yeah, from what I remember, yeah, he was more. Seems like I'll say hands on, like
Right.
actually
Uh-huh.
about it. Yeah, yeah,
And Cassius Clay, that was named after like an
Abolition.
Irishman
yeah.
who was an
Abolition.
ancestor, an open-minded Irishman who married an interracially,
Right.
I think.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
And
Yeah.
yet these guys claim, oh, well, I got my white blood from rape. But no, it was
No,
interracial
no,
marriage.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Terrible.
Yeah, they'll come up with anything.
I know.
To make themselves feel good.
What a mess.
Yeah, definitely a mess. Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
So
I
sidebar. No.
I take people off on these rabbit trails.
Yeah, so all good. The Deion Sanders situation. So he was the head coach at a historically black college, Jackson State in Tennessee. And he did very well. The team did decent. They won many games. I think within his tenure, he may have lost three to four games, and that was
Okay.
about 3 or 4 seasons.
Nice.
So
So he's a good player and coach, which is not always.
the kids like him. He's
Okay.
very likable.
All right. So he may not be a good coach.
We'll find out.
Okay.
We're about to find out.
All right.
Not gonna say he's not a good coach, but
Right.
that level
Yeah.
is different.
Sure.
That historical.
Oh, from historically black college, that's like D5. Division 5 meaning it's a low, like top of the dung pile, basically.
Yeah, you can
Fair
say
point.
that. Yeah. They're good, decent athletes, of course, but
Right. Of course.
but they're just not that tier. Although he did at Jackson State, he did get the number 1 player to come to at Jackson State last season. He was
Okay.
a freshman last year. this past season rather, and so he brought in the kids. Like I say, they love him. So that player went to Jackson State. So now, there were some issues with money at Jackson State. There was even an issue about somebody going into the coach's office and stealing from him.
Whoa.
That's
All
not
too
talked about
common,
a lot.
huh?
Yeah. That's
Wow.
not talked about a lot, but that was the situation.
Now, issues with money as far as like the Jackson State is not a well-run college.
Not well run. The contract supposedly that he had with them bringing in, there were like percentages of if so many tickets are sold,
Oh yeah.
he'll get something or the school to get something. However it is.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of colleges are hurting right now anyway.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So it's not
It's tough.
strictly that it's poorly run.
Right.
It's just that it's,
it's poorly
hurting
run.
business.
No, it's poorly.
Okay.
It's poorly run.
Yeah.
Again,
Interesting.
I know the look and feel of a HBCU because I attended a HBCU.
Yeah.
So I, from the HBCU to the other 4-year college that I went to, totally different.
Night and day, huh?
Yeah, night and day, definitely.
Interesting.
So, I'll get to the point of so he split ways with Jackson State took the job at Colorado State. Everyone went wild, happy or angry for him.
Right.
I sent you that photo, that drawing. Remember? A couple
No,
weeks
I don't
ago,
remember at
you
this
don't
point.
remember? There was a drawing of a caricature of him that looked wild. I was like, that's my point. That they hate the guy. They hated him. The blacks.
The blacks
were
turned
not-
him.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember something like this. Okay, I'll have to find
You
that.
didn't want to show it because it
Oh,
is. That's what
okay.
you said. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So now he's
Was it because it was racist
it
or
It-
vulgar?
had, I would say that he was in the caricature of a monkey.
Oh yeah, I have it. I found it. And then this person called Roachman put sellout.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm back on YouTube today. My
There we
first day
go.
back on YouTube.
Welcome
Shall I
back.
show the racist monkey meme of Deion Sanders? That's funny. Shall I get myself rebanned?
Rebanned. Hopefully not in the middle, but
I know. Interesting. But you guys kind of get the picture if you're keeping up. You kind of understand what's going on.
Yeah, and I'll speed it up also.
Okay.
So so now he took the job at Colorado State. One of his sons was against him the whole time. Like as soon as I think he took the job during or after a game. I think it was his oldest son, like had a fit immediately.
Wow. That he moved schools.
Yes, and because I guess he loves that whole culture thing. He
Right.
wants to be part of the band. They make routines for him while he's on the field.
Wow.
So that son plays cornerback also. So he has another son that plays quarterback. Immediately, that son went with Deion to Colorado State.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you can see the dynamics. There's a lot of kids going to Colorado State now that wouldn't
Right.
typically. The number one athlete or football player last year that I was talking about previously, he joined Colorado State. He's going to
Oh,
Colorado
okay. So
State
he
as
didn't
well.
feel deserted. He just went along, right along
Yeah,
with
he
his
just went
coach.
along with the coach.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I said, the oldest son, he was against it. I haven't seen him or seen anything about him recently, but initially he was upset about the situation.
By a
Yeah.
different mother or all the same mother?
Same mother.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I think he's that wife. He's been with her forever,
Nice.
how long, and they, the kids they have all that family.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. So that's the backstory of Deion Sanders, and this video, or it was an interview with someone that I guess he's done work with in the studio or broadcasting and things. Is they're just talking random things. It was Super Bowl weekend last weekend.
Yeah.
And they wanted to, I guess, get him on to talk about his little point of view of who can win, who's better, this and that, the typical football jargon.
Cool.
So if you want to play the.
Yeah, we have this clip 11. Deion Sanders talks with Rich Eisen, who's like a talk show host,
Yes.
sports talk, I guess.
Yeah, sports talk, right.
On the ideal attributes of players. Minute and 20 seconds, sent by Bigg Bump. Here it is.
Smart, tough, fast, disciplined with character.
Yep.
We're looking at now quarterbacks are different.
Yeah.
We want mother, father, dual parent. We want that kid to be 3, 5 and up because he's got to be smart. Not bad decisions off the field at all because he has to be a leader of men. It's so many different attributes and what we look for when we see a quarterback. And you would love a coach's son. Somewhere that the coach has coached him, and I'm not going down my road. I see you smiling because
I know who your quarterback is
he's
right
talking
now.
about my son. I didn't just build a template for my son, but that's what really we look for in quarterbacks. Different positions are different. Like O lineman, I look for dual parent homes,
Right.
a strong father that they adhered to,
Right.
Smart kid, at least 3.3 and above.
You're also describing Hurts.
Yeah,
as well.
tough,
I mean,
physical. Offensive lineman. Defensive lineman is totally opposite.
what do you mean?
Single mama, trying to get it. He's on free lunch. I'm talking about just trying to make it. He trying to rescue mama. Like mama barely made the flight.
Trying to get out the mud.
And I want him to just go get it. It's a whole different attributes that you look for in different positions, and we have that stuff just chronicled. We know what we want, and we go get it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that stuff factored in so much to football, but I guess at a high level, you have to be like reliable.
Right. And that was to my previous when I guest hosted for you. I made about the baseball situations and how
Oh yeah.
that you don't have to have where it hasn't in football. It's not necessary to have both parents. It's just structured that way.
Right.
That they just grow up that way. That it's more aggression, the hate, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And in baseball, because individual, that it takes more for blacks to actually be involved in it. So the structure that so much going into choosing a player, an athlete, and the quarterback, the first one that he was talking about, the quarterback, and it makes sense because you need that leader,
Right.
the actual leader, the leadership to actually go further and further and win, get your players on point.
For the athletic Philistines, the quarterback is the one who throws the ball to the player to go score a touchdown.
Right.
I don't know if that helps. If you're that bad of an athletic Philistine, I don't know if I can
Yeah,
help you.
and there's not much you can do.
I'm a pretty bad athletic Philistine.
Agreed, but it's okay. So I was making the point of how he's choosing these individuals at quarterback. That's why you don't see many black quarterbacks in general. You don't see many black quarterbacks. Like I said, he was talking about the Super Bowl.
True.
Going to the Super Bowl and actually winning.
Right.
There's been over 55, 57. I think this was a 57th Super Bowl. There may have been 6, 7, 8 quarterbacks that were black that started.
Yeah.
Only 2 have won.
Okay.
One, Patrick Mahomes, he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. This was his second win this past year. The first one was a guy named Doug Williams, and he was with the Redskins. They played like in 1988. And the significance with those 2 is I see that Doug Williams, he had his mother and father. They were married, I don't know how many years. They had about 10 or 11 kids.
Wow.
From what I read, they would love to be around each other. Like the whole family would always, read that the tin roof, like, that's the type of house he lived in. I think Mississippi is where he was at. So they were really close. And the other winner is Patrick Mahomes. His father and mother were married for however long, but recently got divorced, which is weird, but whatever. But his father and mother were there.
And his father was a baseball player.
Baseball player also, yeah. I guess he was
which is significant for a black guy.
right. Yeah, he was a pitcher also. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So the pitching, and being in the Major League Baseball is
Yeah.
something else. Yeah.
Discipline and leadership.
Right.
Wow.
So clearly that translated to his son, even though, he's mixed. Patrick Mahomes, whatever he is, a second or third. But he still had a black father, so he, that did help shape him.
And Patrick has a white mother.
White mother. Right.
Okay, and she's all involved.
Oh man, she's I didn't even realize until recently. She's everywhere. She wants to take the picture. She wants to be all up on him and like get off the man. Yeah, and so also the other quarterback that won is Russell Wilson. He plays for the Broncos now, but he used to play for Seattle. He won a championship also. And I think he's kind of mixed. His dad was something, and his mom is black, but his dad looked mixed kind of, because he looks mixed to me.
Russell Wilson.
Yes. He's married to a singer. They have a weird relationship. I don't know how, but he's supposed to be a Christian.
Okay.
Seems to be a decent person.
Yeah.
So his father was around. He passed in 2010. He had like cancer or something like that. So up until his senior year, his father was around.
Wow.
And also he was drafted to play baseball also.
Okay.
So, there's another nuance.
Yep. Because you said that baseball players, blacks used to be in it when they had their families more.
Yeah.
But now that their fathers are gone,
Right.
they're not as involved in baseball.
No, it's a percent, maybe 6% of the Major League Baseball is black.
Wow.
Maybe. I have to relook at.
And
the
a lot of them are
statistics.
more like black Hispanic.
Oh,
like
definitely.
Dominican
That's-
Republic type
yeah.
stuff.
Those are the overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think that's 10 to 20% over whites now.
Wow.
Yeah. Where was I at with that? They threw me a curveball.
You started to talk about Russell Wilson was also a black quarterback.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, bringing in the black quarterback thing, that they're not, the winners actually had their parents around, like their actual parents were there.
Yeah.
So their father and their mother were there. Each one of them had a black father, so their parents were there. Their black father was there. Now you see the leadership.
Yeah.
That plays a big role in life and when it comes to this football thing, because blacks were going crazy over the other quarterback that was in the Super Bowl this year. And I mentioned to you before that because he was black.
He was blacker. He was not
blacker,
mixed.
He wasn't mixed. They wanted him to win. That's the only reason
That's
that was
funny.
the case.
Who was the two teams just this past Super Bowl?
Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. And was there another Mahomes on the opposite team or no?
No, there were one of the tight end. He's a lineman / wide receiver that can run and catch the ball also.
Okay.
On Kansas City Chiefs, named Travis Kelce. Real good.
Oh,
Great.
okay.
He's white. He has a brother on the Eagles team, and he's just a lineman.
Oh, okay.
And he, so that was the.
So there were two brothers.
Yeah, there were two brothers.
White brothers
Yeah.
on opposite teams.
Right.
For the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there were two black quarterbacks, one real black and one mixed with a partway decent family growing up.
Right.
With the MLB player dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they wanted the Eagles.
They wanted the Eagles.
Is that why the guy broke the TV allegedly?
Yeah.
Maybe it was fake, but
it looked scripted, but it looked real. I could see that happening.
Right.
You know, I've seen it happen before. So, but yeah, yeah, that was a little weird to be overstimulated by a game, overreact to a game. Anyway,
Right.
It's just weird. I like football, but I can, it's not that big of a deal to me.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it because I played.
Yeah.
But I say what I never would do, but that's just.
Can't imagine breaking a TV.
I can't imagine.
Even over losing a bet. Have you ever bet money for a game?
Yeah, I have.
Sinner.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to gamble. That's how I grew up.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I have lost money, and
But you never broke a TV.
I've never broken a TV or a laptop. I've seen that happen before. Somebody punches the laptop.
Not excess amounts of money, I would assume.
No.
Yeah.
No. Just what I can afford.
Right.
You know. Yeah. And then I liken betting to the stock market, crypto. So
Right.
you know,
It's sort of gambling.
It's gambling. You
Yep.
know, you can call it an investment all you want, but it's still gambling.
Right.
Even the pensions and things like that, putting your money in 401ks is still a
Nothing is for certain. That's true.
that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure I touched on that what they were looking for.
Yeah. Deion Sanders looking for the leadership guys, the guys who have to have discipline.
Yeah.
And make good decisions and be reliable.
Right. Those are the ones you need to carry the team on.
Yeah.
And see the standard that he needs them to be.
And he was talking about GPA, right? 3.5 GPA,
yeah.
meaning A's and B's,
Yeah.
3.3 B's and some A's.
Right. Yeah.
For the linemen.
The linemen.
What are
And
the
they're
linemen?
The offensive line that protects the quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those guys have to be reliable, huh?
Yeah. And they're typically are maybe not as smart as a quarterback, but they are smart guys. The linemen all the linemen I knew pretty much were.
Because they have to be able to kind of read what the defense is going to try to do. Like if they're gonna rush in or blitz.
Yeah. All the packages they have to know just as well as the quarterback.
Yeah. So they have to know how to defend to prevent their quarterback from getting hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they have to be up to par, and that's a fact for sure.
And they can't step over the line prematurely and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, the other guy's just gonna step over the line.
Either way.
Okay.
They can't move.
Right.
Once they're set.
No
movement.
Okay.
Until the ball is hiked. So.
Man.
And then, like you said, you have the other guys, the ones he was, the defensive line. He just wants them to be out there on the field. They don't have. Those are the ones that when people call in and say, someone calls, oh, these guys need to do this in school and, they should be student athletes.
Yeah.
Deion, he doesn't care about that. They don't care about that. They just want him to play. And those are hard-nosed guys up there.
Yeah.
They're 300-pounders, 6'7", 6'8", and they're just at it. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what they do. They
go hard.
Yeah, go hard or go home. That's it. So yeah, but that's the correlation I was going to make with the leadership, the having both parents in the home. That's what they look for. That's where people succeed in life, and those are the higher standards where people, how were they saying it? Oh, you see the two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl?
Wasn't that touching?
Who cares?
How much low standards do we have?
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
It's pathetic. But, to see even that what those standards entail, that what you have to do, they don't look at that part. They're just happy that there's two black quarterbacks.
I know. So for sure, a black man is going to win.
Yeah, right. But I don't know how happy they are for Patrick Mahomes.
I know.
Compared to
he mixed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nick points out there was the first all-female flyover with the Blue, not the Blue Angels, but the Jets. Blue Angels?
Oh, okay. I
don't know if it was Blue Angels or not. Actually.
Okay.
And no accidents, Nick says, reported.
Yeah. That they had to promote that during a football game. NFL game, they could do that somewhere else, but
I know. Such a shame.
Yeah.
The NFL has gotten.
Yeah, there also was a commercial
SJW.
where it was a flag football female playing. I guess they have a bigger league, and it was to promote the flag football league. But she was running around. No one would catch her. No one's able to catch her. No female, no guy. No man was able to catch her at all. She was so elusive that, and they were playing up, of course, the female.
Right.
There's no way that a female is going to do that to a guy, let
Yeah.
alone an athlete, because I think there were a few athletes, like professional athletes, that might have been in the commercial also. But, yeah, that's just propaganda.
Terrible.
A mess.
Do you guys want to see the Deion Sanders? Do you want to show? Should we show the Deion Sanders
I don't
monkey
mind, yeah.
meme? Here's the hater. Here's a hater tweet, which I disavow, of Deion Sanders. Do you see it in the folder? It's called racist meme, even though we know racism doesn't exist. You might have to refresh. This is a guy tweeting out "sell out" over Deion Sanders, who left an HBCU, historically black college, and went to Colorado State, a white school, or normal school anyway. He rotated it, and it says "sell out." Terrible. I disavow.
Yeah, that's wild. I said it. I
That's
don't know.
that's black brotherhood.
Right.
Love for your fellow black man.
That's the Muhammad Ali drawing a picture of Joe Frazier. After
Terrible. Yep.
the Uncle Tom comments. Yeah.
I know. Joe Frazier was upset about that too, I heard. I think I read it in The Antidote. Because he lived more of a hard life than Muhammad Ali, I think, in his younger days.
Right. Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah, he was one of those, like I said, he was a field worker.
Yeah. Living under a tin roof like JLP.
Right, yeah.
On the plantations.
Yep.
I was going to get to a
Character.
caller. Patrick in Denmark was on the line. He wanted to talk about Judeo-Christian values, but he dropped off there. But you guys can call in 1-888-775-3773. Was there anything else you wanted to close?
No, not
That out
right.
on?
I can't think
Okay.
of anything else that I want to talk about with that. No.
What'd you want to hit next? Because I have these things, but I don't want to go out of order from something that you may have had in mind.
Deion, maybe the Monopoly.
Okay.
Or the
Yeah, that's
banker
what I
type
have
stuff.
down here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So last time you were guest hosting, right? You made a statement, or co-hosting?
Co-hosting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you made a statement about Monopoly Rule 11?
Yes.
Okay, what was that statement originally that you said?
That I said was I wasn't sure if it was the bank that the game is over once there isn't any money left in the bank.
Oh, okay.
Or if it kept going.
Okay.
I couldn't really remember.
I vaguely recall, and I may be misremembering, that you said that it is over, and that, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like once it's out, it's out.
Right. That's what I was thinking, that's what the case was. But I stand corrected, and Monopoly Rule number 11, what if the bank runs out of money?
We have that. We have the I have the screenshot of that. Go ahead. You
Go
can
ahead and read it.
Go
All
ahead.
right. Some players think the bank is bankrupt if it runs out of money. The bank never goes bankrupt. To continue playing, use slips of paper to keep track of each player's banking transactions until the bank has enough paper money to operate again. The banker may also issue new money on slips of ordinary paper.
Wow. Dang. So it's a bunch of IOUs.
All IOUs.
Fiat currency.
Yeah.
Isn't that it? Isn't that lowering the value of the money?
Definitely. It's going to happen.
When you're
will
printing
happen.
money.
Yeah.
You cheapen it.
Yeah, continuously. Until, you get your wars.
Right.
That's a different story. But until you get your wars, then your money's going to be devalued by just printing quantitative easing and just frivolously printing money and not having it backed by anything tangible.
And you mentioned what quantitative easing is, and somebody explained it to me before, and I've looked it up before, but I can never remember what it is. But it has to do with cheapening money, in short, right?
Yeah, I think I'm not all that on the quantitative easing thing. I know it when I hear it.
Right.
It's more of it's still basically the printing of the money. It's the playing with the interest rates and things like that.
Yeah.
That's my lay.
Interest rates are interest on loans, right?
Yes, that's what it would
So how
be.
much they charge, which is, in your mind, is that usury? When you
Yes.
charge interest on a loan, is it always usury?
Not always. I don't think it's always usury.
If they're fleecing you, it's usury.
Definitely.
If you can afford it and you agree to it,
Yeah.
then it's not usury.
Yeah, you can definitely say it that way.
And you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because some people know and still do it.
Right.
So I don't know.
And they take the risk
yeah,
of whether they can
Right.
afford all that interest on their
Yeah,
loan.
yeah. But yeah, it is usury. I guess you can say it's usury, knowingly or unknowingly.
Right. Okay.
I,
Whether the purported victim of the
Yeah.
usury,
right.
the person who has to pay all that interest, whether they know it or don't know it, you can call it usury,
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
know
I know-
anything about what the Bible says about that stuff?
I don't know. I kind of read something, but I don't know for sure.
Right.
I've heard people say things, but I still don't know.
I've heard that it's not good to owe any man, and I'm not sure if that's in the Bible or not. I've read the whole Bible, I just don't remember.
Okay.
And it is good to pay off your debts.
Yeah.
Try not to be in debt if you can.
Right.
It's just kind of like if you're a slave, or it's if you can get your freedom, do so.
Do so. Right.
And I think that they say, oh, if you loan somebody money, don't demand it back or something like that.
Okay.
But that's more about dealing with people graciously, I think. It's kind of how I read it,
okay.
but I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure myself.
Yeah, and don't charge exorbitant interest.
Now that I know for sure.
But when you say
Yeah.
exorbitant, it's like it leaves it kind of, we don't know what exorbitant means.
Right. Yeah.
Weasel words, kind of. Oh, a lot of people can use that.
Yeah.
Use that vagueness to
Yeah.
exploit.
Right. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens. So yeah, definitely. And the legalese of it also makes it.
Yeah.
It's open for debate.
So Monopoly is kind of like real life, though, in that it's a bunch of scammers.
That's what it says.
Or something.
It says at the bottom. I should have read the bottom.
Oh, yeah, the bottom part. Show the meme again. The bottom talks about the Federal Reserve, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it says, if you don't understand how it works, start with Rule 11 in a Monopoly board game. And that's how it works,
Yeah.
That's real life. That's
Meaning just write a bunch of IOUs.
IOUs, hand them out, check everything, and we're never broke.
Wow. Because a bank cannot go bankrupt.
Right. They will make it. They can. It may sound like they're going bankrupt, but they'll be bailed out.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's how it's been going for many of years.
Before you probably want to get next to the bankers' wars.
Right.
And it's kind of tied to this topic. But first, I want to read a few super chats. Speaking of money, and I have not shared any super chats with Joel Friday or Bigg Bump, so sorry, guys. But anyway, 20 gave a super chat, a generous super chat. Hi, heaven blessings to you. Love and peace be with you. Have a great day at work, Karen. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate that. Very kind. Lin Yen Chin says, nice opening. Classy, better black music of 1946. That's 8 years after the USA abolished its eugenics laws, which is part of why us blacks went from 3/5 to 1/10 civil. 3/5 to 1/10. We lost. Or they lost.
They
Big
lost.
Bump. 2 G's in big. B-I-G-G. Lin Yen Chin. Big Bump knows the value of eugenic cultivation. He is high-class black. You had both parents?
Up until I was 12, that's when they divorced.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
So they were, yeah.
So that's why you were able to play baseball and football.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Were you a cornerback or a lineman or a quarterback?
I played when I was younger, like first starting, I think I was at running back and like safety, and then got older. I was a quarterback, and high school I played quarterback, receiver, and cornerback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and then,
Safety hikes the ball.
No.
No?
Center.
Oh,
hikes
center hikes the ball.
Yeah. Safety is defense. They play they're like center field. They see the whole field, and have to be able to come up, make the tackle, or make sure no one gets behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's your safety.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I did that, and then college receiver, and my semi-pro and professional teams were receiver also, wide receiver as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you said running back. What's a running back?
That's the one who, when the quarterback hands the ball off,
Okay.
that's the running back.
Okay, so you played both. You used to play both offense and defense.
Yeah.
You had roles.
I played,
both.
Yeah. In high school, I did both offense and defense. And then after that, college and professional was all wide receiver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yes, Lin Yen Chin, he is high class black. And you know the value of eugenic cultivation?
I know. I guess, I don't know.
Are they're talking about abolishing eugenics laws. Does that mean no interracial marriage, Lin Yen Chin? Or what do they mean? I wonder what that means.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that part.
Yeah.
If that's the case or not. I know the eugenics issue. I understand that, but I'm not 100% Lin Yen Chin.
Yeah.
What you mean?
Lin Yen Chin goes on with another super chat. 3 standard units of cotton equals 1 XP, and you have to reach level 9 in cotton picking to reach equal labels of morality with white men. Slavery was an EXP farm to help us blacks mature. Turning liberal undid that growth. Turning liberal undid that growth. Sparkle Blouse can explain my jargon. Sparkle Blouse, which is Nick. XP is experience like a video game.
Okay.
Says Nick. Thank you, Nick. He's here.
Thanks.
If we had Hassan here, we would all be lost. Interesting. Thank you, Lin Yen Chin. Very nice. And let me double check over on, I have another super chat mode. Someone bought 3 coffees over on buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report, which I signed up for buymeacoffee.com.
Okay.
Because Nightwave Radio has that. But then he got banned from it like
Oh, right. I keep
a few days
right.
after I signed up for it. Terrible. And I did a screenshot of that. I think I did a screenshot of that coffee. I don't know where it is now. I think I have it. Hold on, guys. Bear with me here. We're going to get to your calls. Okay. I think I have it. The previous outgoing YouTube CEO left Susan Wojcicki 3 advice letters locked in her safe to open when business gets tough. Right-wing extremists and misinformation were about to get Trump elected for a second term, which I disavow. Not having any of that, Susan opened the first letter, adopt cancel culture. Disaster averted for the most secure election in history. Having banned popular streamers, other platforms such as BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey were emboldened to cut into YouTube revenue. Looking at the losses, Susan opened a second letter, fire dead weight. People got laid off. Profit improves. Phew, this CEO gig is hard. During an interview with Kara Swisher, Wojcicki stated that she would ban Ben Shapiro if she could. Whoa. Wrestling with the turmoil of banning Ben Shapiro and the millions of daily wire plays pays YouTube to maintain its ranking as controlled opposition, which I disavow. No, just kidding. Susan opened the third letter. Write 3 letters. We love Susan and wish her well. Thank you, someone. And you know what's funny is I don't see that chat on the website itself, but I do see it privately. So I appreciate that. Super chat via coffees, 3 coffees. Nice. Much obliged, much appreciated. Thank you, guys. Okay, so you mentioned the Fed, and we'll get to that in a sec, but I want to get to a caller, Bigg Bump.
Okay.
Frederick in Los Angeles is on the line. He can kind of introduce us, I guess, to this topic. Frederick, you're on with Bigg Bump and Hake. How you doing?
How's it going? How's it going? Good morning, Big Bump.
Morning.
First time talking to you. Good morning, Hank.
Morning.
All right. I seen him put that Monopoly thing up there, and I had to call.
You saw the Monopoly meme,
Right.
Monopoly money. I've heard that
Yeah,
our money is just
the
Monopoly
Federal
money.
Reserve.
Yeah.
We're coming to a time where we have to raise the debt ceiling. Do you think we should raise it?
Who is that for?
Big Bump.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not for that.
Me neither. Good job, Big Bump. Good job.
I'll let you know.
All right.
I'm a
Because those IOUs got us at 31
Frederick.
trillion right
Hold
now,
on,
right?
Frederick. He wants to elaborate.
So-
Bigg Bump wants to elaborate.
so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
don't.
didn't hear him.
I don't know if you ever heard anything I've ever said while co-hosting or anything. That I'm a act like a Tea Party person. I'm a Ron Paul person. Really, I am. So, so that should give you an idea of why I say no debt ceiling. If
And
I
what-
Okay.
And what does that mean,
Yeah.
Ron Paul person?
Constitution.
Capitalist.
Yeah, for sure. Capitalist. Constitution.
But
free
moral,
market,
more moral
for
of a
sure,
capitalist,
moral, yeah,
not the commie
yeah,
capitalist.
an actual
Not the
capitalist.
Constitution. That wasn't even written for us, Big Bump.
Huh? I don't know about that. You can say that, which
What year was it written in?
whatever. What 90 was it? 91?
I think it might have been
1791?
adopted in 1789. Allegedly adopted, if you listen to Legal Man. Did you hear Legal Man on the Fallen State?
I missed that. I
Okay.
missed that.
Check that out.
1776. Right. That was legal slavery during that time.
Okay.
We didn't get free to 1860.
Who's we?
The black. Come on
I
now.
was born free.
Anyway, back to the Federal Reserve. What will happen if we don't raise the debt ceiling, Big Bump? Tell them.
If we don't, hopefully we would correct ourselves.
Meaning, what does that mean to correct ourselves?
A correction, an actual correction in these people, these businesses, corporations would have to fail. The banks would have to fail because there's the welfare that they're receiving.
Tell them about the interest rate that'll go up
the
on
welfare.
their home loans where they couldn't afford it, and how the foreclosures will start popping off everywhere. And the banks will start taking their assets and selling them.
But if
Scary.
things are being corrected and the debt ceiling doesn't occur, the banks will go away also. Do you agree with that?
Social Security
Yeah.
and the Department of Defense, they don't have nowhere to cut no money yet. Even the Republicans don't know where to cut any money. So they got to raise it or something's going to fall, true enough.
Yeah.
The IOUs that they've been giving out is at 31 trillion.
It will fall.
And it's only going to keep going up. They print money, but not money for the interest that they printing the money for. So it's just like you're saying, them IOUs are going to have to get called in one day.
True. And that will be the correction that I'm talking about.
Do you know who owns the Federal Reserve?
Yeah. Who I say would own the Federal Reserve are I would start with the Rothschilds. I'll name the name.
Okay, yes, yep. Okay. And they own the media, so they control the thinking. He controls the pen, controls the thinking of the age. So I was just seeing if y'all was woke or not.
I don't know about being
Because
woke,
we're about
but
to go to war, and that's not going to correct it because China is already talking about lending Russia lethal weapons, and they're not going to stop. Joe Biden took a strong stance this morning, and he's backing Ukraine 100% a year later. So
Right.
this war, if they take over Ukraine, Poland and all that, it's going to be a war eventually anyway. So the war is getting even closer with these spy balloons. It just brought us like 2 years closer to World War III. do you think America could stand alone?
I don't follow what he's. Do you follow what he's saying?
Not really.
They say.
No.
Like,
Does that
do
have
you
to do
think we
with
should
what?
back
Are
Ukraine
you talking
or not?
about? Are you talking about wars helping the economy? These people's
Yes,
economy?
or crippling the economy. Is
Oh,
it going to
crippling.
cripple World War III? Is it going to cripple the economy,
Oh,
the
okay.
draft, or do you think it's going to help the economy?
Now, it'll be a fake help. I mean, since it's manufactured, it's not. It's not real. It's not.
The war is not real?
No, not the war. I'm not saying that the war is not real. The war is real because of kinetic action, but it's not real. It's not the truth.
What part is not real? What part isn't the truth?
The
help of the economy?
let's see. I'll say the actions for the war. I guess that's where I'm trying to
Oh,
say
the
that.
motives?
Yeah, the motives. Yeah, we'll use that word, motives.
So are you saying the motive for the war? Okay, the motive for the war ain't real. All right,
Like
you
false
know who's
pretenses.
in charge of? You know who's in charge of Ukraine? Zelensky. You know who's
Oh,
in
you
charge
mean
of
the
Israel?
president? Okay.
So if Iran was a strong enough power like Russia would be, and already had nukes, and we was going, and Israel is an occupying force in the West Bank. Do you think that we would back Israel, or would that war be made up? Put the same scenario on Iran and Israel.
I mean, we would always back Israel. Clearly, that's the case. Even when being
That's
attacked,
what we're doing
we've
in
always.
Ukraine. So how is it fake?
How is it fake? The pretenses aren't legit. They're being by whoever you want to call it, the bankers, the politicians. They're causing and starting those situations.
Is Ukraine trying to be more West, or do Russia want Ukraine to be back as the Soviet Union? Is Putin trying to bring the Soviet Union back stronger,
I don't
or
think.
is he thinking Ukraine going too
I
far
don't think
west
the
and
Soviet
United
Union-
States is investing too much money in Ukraine?
I don't
The
think.
biolabs.
I don't
and the
think
way
Putin
that
is trying to
they're headed
bring
with
back
their
Soviet
head
Hold on,
Union.
Frederick.
and-
Hold on, Frederick. Let him answer.
You go off on the tangents.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I don't think Putin is trying to bring back the Soviet Union at all.
Oh wow.
Not the
Okay,
Soviet
yeah, that's
Union.
definitely what he's trying to do.
Not the Soviet Union, no. Pre-1917, yes. Before the Bolshevik Revolution, yes.
When Russia was great.
Right. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
not the
yeah,
Soviet
yeah,
Union,
yeah.
though, right?
It's USSR. It was called Mother Russia.
1917, pre-1917 wasn't USSR. It wasn't Soviet Union.
What's bad about
Okay.
why wouldn't he want Soviet Union? Why would he want pre-Soviet Russia? What does that mean?
Soviet Russia was more
Communist?
communist.
Communism.
Yeah.
And he's okay with communism somewhat, right? He respects Lenin, I think.
No,
I don't know his
America is
views
just
about
for Russia
Lenin.
right now.
Hold
and
on,
for
Frederick.
communism.
Hold on, Frederick.
I'm sorry.
I'm asking Big Bump why
I
he
thought you
says
were talking-
Putin wants pre-1917 Russia.
From what I can see, besides the fact that he was involved in Soviet Union.
Yeah, he was KGB
yeah,
and all
he was
that stuff.
KGB,
He was
yeah.
a guy. But if you love your country, you're going to be involved in it some
Right.
way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from what I see how he acts, how the things he says, he seems pro-Russia. Before the Bolsheviks came into Russia, that's
Right.
that's how I
He's pro-Russia.
see I see that he seems to be that way, Christian, Orthodox, or whatever he is.
Okay. Because Soviet Union was atheist.
Yeah,
An atheist
a lot of those-
communist.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're our biggest threat. But do you see a lot
Hold
of
on.
Americans stand for
I want
Russia?
him to finish his point. I want him to finish his explanation about why Putin wants.
He's
Okay, great.
more for his. He seems he is for the people. He seems more capitalist than, many in, on the other side of the pond in those other Western countries.
Biden
for sure. He's
really
more capitalist than Biden.
Right.
And, you can see Biden's works. He's over in Ukraine today. So,
right.
That's not capitalist.
War welfare.
Yeah. So that's why I say that. I see Putin as way more free. He loves his country for sure. I don't see the Soviet Union issue. Maybe it is. Maybe he's playing a game and he knows how to play the game well, but
right.
His actions aren't that. They don't show communists.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my take on Putin.
Interesting.
Okay.
I appreciate it, Frederick.
Okay.
Last word before we got to go. Go ahead.
No, it was a great conversation.
Nice. Thank you, man.
Nice
Appreciate
talking
your
to
call.
you, Frederick.
All right. Yep.
But hey, Frederick, have you ever played football?
Yes, sir. Yes, but I'm not a jock. I never played organized football or nothing like that.
Oh, not a jock. No, so no baseball.
Yeah. No.
Did you have both parents?
I'm a track star.
Oh, okay, right on. Did you have both parents?
Yeah.
Nice. Right on, man. Were they married?
All right. Well, no.
They were not married, but you had your father around.
They were married at one time. They got divorced. He got remarried, but I always had access to him. It
Nice.
wasn't nothing like he was kept from me or nothing like that. So,
Right on.
No, me and my parents got a great relationship.
Cool, man. All right, take care,
They
Frederick.
live in Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. That's why you're kind of
Yeah,
rude
probably.
sometimes. All black people from Kentucky are kind of rude, I've heard.
Don't say that. Disavow immediately.
I'm playing.
Not all.
I say all because
All right,
it's
have
funny.
a great day. Hey.
All right, you too. All right, so thank you. This has been the first hour. We got to play a song now. We got a track from Bigg Bump, and this track is entitled
Same Song, Different Day.
Enjoy, press mute, cover your ears, or grin and bear it, you musical Philistines. But it's not Hake music, so I think you'll probably like it better. Same Song, Different Day by Bigg Bump. 2 G's in Big. And we'll be right back for the rest of hour 2. Hang tight.
Yo, Aubrey, play that beat, man.
It's the same song, different day. We ain't from the same hood to see the same thing. It's the same song, different day. We ain't from the same hood to see the same thing. It's the same song, different day. We ain't from the same hood to see the same thing. It's the same song, different day. We ain't from the same hood to see the same thing.
It's just the 12th of the month and Pam's EBT card has insufficient funds. 3 kids, 9, 6, and a newborn. 2 baby daddies and neither one of them checks for him. Unlike Tony, who's fighting to get custody. The judge tripping over a 10-year-old felony. That sidewalk dice game ended with the squabble that left Damon in ICU over $5. Trina's mom just got laid off. Now Trina's on the verge of taking it all off. Any other time it wouldn't even be an option, but she just found out her pops was having heart problems. Abandoned car in the parking lot. Mark's got no place to go, so he's nodding off. Tommy can hardly walk to his 9 to 5 without Johnny Law giving him a hard time. Jasmine and Cameron just had a little boy, but little Cameron and Cameron's is the homie Troy's. Mr. Friday Night Lights, Corey End Zone. Had a key to the city and damn near a throne. His downfall was the streets he couldn't leave alone. And now Corey's uniform is a monochrome. See, Tanya was a straight-A student. Went to the mall with Marcus, now Tanya's facing charges. It's like a reoccurring nightmare, but this is real life, and life ain't always fair. It's like a reoccurring nightmare, but this is real life, and life ain't always fair.
It's the same song, different day. We ain't from the same hood to see the same thing. It's the same song, different day. We ain't from the same hood to see the same thing.
Little Ronald was new to the neighborhood, had to make a choice, gangbang to be a good dude. He tried to fit in with the hustlers, so they showed him how to rep the hood, pumping on that dust.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Because
No. Roddy Piper. And They Live. He said, "Oh, well, we talked over it." That's one of my favorite movies.
violence. Ouch. Thank you guys for bearing with me through that beautiful music. Black Sabbath, says Wrinkle Hands Bing Bong. Hake performs this on karaoke night. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that beautiful music. We have more calls to get to. Let me just double check for super chats. Over on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report, we have Jordanos gave a super chat. It said, "Hey, Big Bump, say it with your chest." And she says, "Samson, I'm cutting your hair today." Well, thank you, Delilah.
Hey there, Delilah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's a nice track, huh? Okay, let me just double check over here. Geronimo says the Federal Reserve is Jewish-owned and ruling through which I disavow, and ruling through capitalism, state-funded usury, all over the world, enslaving people with their sterile money. The Muslim world is not included yet, and that's why the Jewish revolutionary spirit is pushing Muslims as enemies and pushing regime change in Iran. Believe the lie, and the Christian world will find itself in war with the Muslim world, doing the bloodshedding for the third party, the Jews, who will take over with the usual victim card as they have after World War II. Do you follow what she's saying there?
Yes and no. I wasn't into it at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if I wanted you to read it again. But
No,
yeah.
Well, I can just say capitalism, state-funded usury.
Okay.
The Federal Reserve is owned by them.
Right.
M.
Parentheses.
And enslaving people with their sterile money. And they're casting the Muslims who are not involved in that banking system, I guess, as the enemy.
See,
and they're turning the Christians against that.
Right. That a lot of people use the Jewry, the Jews being involved, like being the head. But honestly, it's almost every... There's a conglomerate. It's not just...
They're heavily involved.
They're heavily involved.
Disproportionate compared to their share of the population of the world.
For sure.
And America.
That's the truth.
But it's not just them.
It's not just them.
Yeah, that's true.
They use... I'm not going to say they use. There are other people, other tribes, families, ethnicities, races involved heavily.
Satan possesses all of us.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
it doesn't. He's not just working on one group of people. He doesn't discriminate.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. God discriminates.
God discriminates.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are conditions.
Yeah.
There definitely are conditions.
And that's why those people are so anti-discrimination. Those people that she's talking about, and the spirit of
that spirit.
Yeah. The mama spirit. The devil in all of us. What a mess. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Geronimo and Jordanos. Okay. Let's get to your thing. Before we get back to calls, I will get back to your calls, guys. Let's talk about the what you wanted to mention with the... I think you want... What was it you wanted to talk about? The banker wars?
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Yeah. I wanted to make the point of how there was, just recently, it was either Friday or Saturday, there was from Fox Business that J.P. Morgan dealing with Ukraine that...
I have some screenshots from that article. Go ahead. Go ahead, Big Bump.
They reached an agreement, a $20 to $30 billion agreement to provide private capital for Ukrainian infrastructure. And that was my point the last time I was here. The bankers will fund the war. They will break a country down, and they will build that country up, and it's a cycle. It's just a cycle.
I skimmed over this article that you sent me, this J.P. Morgan reaches agreement with Ukraine's Zelensky. And they put 2 Ys because they're kissing up, I think, on rebuilding infrastructure, which I say is a communist buzzword, infrastructure.
Yes, yeah.
And they presented him a Patriots jersey. New England Patriots, like football.
Football, yeah.
American football. They gave him a Patriots jersey.
That's so weird, but yeah.
It's a Fox Business article out just a few days ago, I think.
Right.
Like you said.
Yeah. I found that so interesting. Go ahead.
Me too, because you mentioned that the bankers somehow make money off of these wars and fund the wars. And they're also, in this case, funding the so-called recovery.
Yeah, yeah. That's part of it.
And it makes... Suddenly it started to come to click.
Yeah.
I realized, you actually can make money or exploit the situation to make money.
For sure.
From these things, because that's desperation.
Yeah.
And in times of desperation, people can become very enterprising and make value.
Oh, you're saying it that way. Okay. Yeah.
People create value.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you invest in them, then you get that value back from them because they owe you now.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. They caused the turmoil. However, J.P. Morgan was involved with Russia, Ukraine. However they
were involved?
For sure. The bankers.
Right.
However they were involved.
No, come on. Anyway.
They were involved. They may have however they were involved.
Yeah.
That whatever they got in return, their kickback in return for that led to this. That's their kickback. You know, they're going to place these, as it says, private capital. So they're going to build up these whoever made, whether they put a McDonald's in this area or a Chick-fil-A, whoever. I'm just randomly saying things.
Yeah.
Places.
Because they can go to their clients and say, hey, you want to help us invest in Ukraine?
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to.
And as they build, that'll bring more value, and so they're getting more money.
Yeah, that $20 to $30 billion that
everybody wins.
Everybody wins in this,
except for the people who got killed.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they're gonna make 10 times as much as that $30 billion that they're raising to help out Ukraine.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And that's part of that's their part in the game. They could be the wide receiver in the football game, but that's what their benefit is for it.
So I think you might have said, and other people have said, a lot of wars, or maybe all wars, are bankers' wars.
Yeah.
Including, like, say, the so-called Civil War. And they had they had what they called Reconstruction after the so-called Civil War in the South in America, because they burned the place to the ground in many places.
Scorched earth almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Sherman, I guess.
Sherman.
And I don't know the history that much, but I could see that, I suppose, like, there might have been some of that type of shenanigans.
Yeah.
That's happening in Ukraine now, down there.
Yeah. Just different.
Right.
Different,
How would you have said it? Because I said, though, desperate people are creative and enterprising and find ways to build value because they have to.
Yeah.
Out of necessity.
I was going to say two things. One was, I thought you were going to say desperate times lead for desperate actions.
Right.
In that way. But when you kept going, it's similar to the people during the Chinese virus, how they would come up with all different types of things, ways to, be creative, and because they had to stay home or they lost their job, just creative ways to make money.
Yeah.
You see certain industries rise, certain hobbies rise.
Right, while others fall.
Yeah. So that's one of the desperate times. So people were, they didn't know what to do. Some people had no idea what was going on, what to do, how to handle it. But, some people found a way to generate some type of money.
Yeah. And a lot of inventions and technology, it grows with these different challenges that come up, wars.
Right.
And all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Cold weather. I guess that's why the whites are more inventive. Planning ahead. Stuff like that.
Right,
That's what they say.
Yeah. I mean, that caused those times in those areas like that, they would cause you to, create this. Oh, I need this building with such and such, or
Right.
however, this transportation mode to be covered or whatever, That's what happens. You're right. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave him a Patriots jersey.
That's odd. When I seen that part, I didn't even read that part.
Right.
I just
Right. You just saw them involved in that.
Right. Yeah. Like this.
To me, I pick up on the the kissing up to the pop culture.
Right.
How involved this Zelensky guy is with the pop
yeah.
culture, which is smart because these evil people are all about that globo homo
Right.
trendy world life.
Yeah.
He has all the stars and big companies kissing up to him and pretending he's a hero.
The contradiction to it, which is crazy, is that our president, Trump, everybody was crazy about him, of course, and now, they kick him to the side.
And he didn't bring us into any new wars.
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
That I know of.
Yeah, no. Just situations, they happened. He took action on him, and that was it. There's no going in and infiltrating and doing all this other stuff.
Yeah.
To get involved, intervening. But Trump is the opposite of being popular, so popular with everyone pre-2015,
I know.
2016, and now he's, scum of the
Pariah.
earth. Yeah. But
terrible.
This guy is so popular. He's, Zelensky is so popular and or always in the news, and I don't know. It's odd. It's odd how they treat him.
Popular with the trendy elitist types.
Yeah. They come and shake hands and hug and
making appearances at different awards shows.
Yeah. He's
so
a
corny, but yet you don't blame him because he's
right.
If you had the opportunity to push that for quote unquote for your country,
right.
But it's not really for his country. It's for him and for power, for the people in power who are not dying.
Right.
Because the more this war drags on, is enabled by America and NATO and all that, the more of his people are going to die, in my mind.
For sure. Yeah, I agree with that. I can definitely agree with that.
Like, if they surrendered, would they still be genocided? Do you think?
I doubt
think
it.
there's any validity to that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
J.P. Morgan.
Putin just would
He would take that and then be like, okay, this is it.
Yeah. That's how I see it. I don't see
That's how I see it, too. Because he's not a dummy who is going to just keep on taking over all these other neighboring countries or all of Ukraine.
Right.
I don't think.
I don't think so either. Could be wrong, but I don't think that. Yeah.
Interesting times.
Yeah, like you say, J.P. Morgan. Yeah, the bankers are always there, and the war is a racket. That's another. There was a.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that book? Smedley Butler.
No, I haven't heard that. I may have heard it, but it didn't stick.
Yeah, I think he was a general, Smedley Butler from. It was like the most highly decorated Marine ever, and he wrote a book called "War is a Racket," and is basically touching upon that Eisenhower type military-industrial complex type stuff.
Eisenhower warned against it, even though he was. Did he partly build it? Because he warned against it in his exit speech.
Yeah, because I was reading the other day during the Iran, the Shah issue with in the 50s, where he was involved with ousting their president at the time. And pre of course his exit, but when he was still while he was president, that he was involved in ousting or allowing the CIA to oust the sitting president. Yeah. So, but I like Eisenhower though.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
I basically like a lot of these people, but now I'm questioning a lot.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, because I have no idea really. Since we're on this topic, before I get to calls, I have something that I brought that I want to touch on. Biden went to Ukraine.
Right.
And so I have some pictures of him going to Ukraine, and he's walking around Kiev with Zelensky as air sirens sound. I have maybe a clip, but I have a tweet. 1 year later, Kyiv, and he's spelling it Kyiv, stands. Ukraine stands. Democracy stands. America and the world stand with Ukraine. And then he tweeted also in that same tweet, he tweeted out a bunch of like Russian or Ukrainian language stuff. Pik notomi knib kotoib yikipidiaika kotoid democracy. I think that says democracy. America. Anyway, I don't want to finish.
Sounds French.
Yeah, I know. let me do a better try. It almost looks like some of the letters almost look Korean. I guess because Russia and Ukraine, those are Asiatic, aren't they? I learned that from Nick.
They are Asiatic.
They're not pure. They're not normal white. They're Asian. They're not fully human. Just kidding. Just kidding, Asians and everybody. I disavow. You know what's funny is I have another tweet. Adam Kinzinger. He's the anti-Trump rhino was on the January 6th committee. Joe Biden's visit to... Oh, that's funny. How'd you do that?
That's that?
That was the translation? Okay, put it out. That's funny. I was pretty close. Stoit. Oh, with a C makes a S sound. I put Katoy. I'm trying to spell it. I'd say it phonetically, and their alphabet's all different, or somewhat different. Anyway, thank you. I don't know how Biden knows that to type that. Maybe he didn't do it. But anyway, Kinzinger. I have a Kinzinger tweet. Adam Kinzinger. He's the anti-Trump rhino grandstander. He's all, Joe Biden's visit to Kiev. Oh, Kiev. He spelled it the right way. Is great. And sends a strong message that the U.S. stands with #Ukraine. Funny that they put hashtag. There is absolutely no debate. Trump never would have gone because he would have been too scared. And of course, Russia. And then he also tweeted, I may block everyone who is only responding with with a correction of how it's spelled to Ukrainians. Because the Ukrainians spell Kiev, right? Kyiv. I kind of like Adam Kinzinger for that type of stuff because he's somewhat reasonable at times.
Right. Yeah, you have to pick the time and find the time.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't get this Super Bowl halftime show. I forget what was going on. Maybe it was, I forget what was going on with the Super Bowl halftime. Black woman stuff.
Oh, Rihanna mess.
Rihanna.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trump would have gone to Ukraine because there never would have been a reason to.
Right. Yeah.
Because Putin would never have gone in, I say.
Right.
Or am I wrong?
No, you're right. I believe in that.
Yeah.
I believe that that's the case. He wouldn't have gone in at all.
There's some meme pics. How it started, how it's going. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Go back to that first one that you were showing. Somebody's 5 times August. It says, President's Day 2023. Biden says, America last. And Zelensky says, suckers. And it's a picture of them shaking hands. And these are talk bubbles that didn't actually happen. This is misinformation. But it's what do you call that? Anyway. It's jokes. It's jokes. Anyway. They're going to censor us. How it started, how it's going. Some Ukrainian Ukraine supporting woman, dumb woman, said how it started, how it's going. And they have pictures of President Trump looking down, and then and beside him is Vladimir Putin with his head all high. So it looks like Putin is the boss and Trump is putting his head down. But I don't read it like that. And then next to it, it's Zelensky hugging with both hands Sleepy Joe Biden's hand, and Biden is looking all smiley and confident. But we know the truth. We know that we know that's an opposite situation. Trump and Putin respect each other.
Yeah.
And Biden is willingly kissing up to Zelensky because he's on the trendy boat right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Biden follows the trends. He does not have a solid foundation. He goes with whatever's popular.
Yeah.
What a mess.
Yeah, that is a mess. For them to even not alter the picture, but try to find that split second where Trump is looking down.
Yeah, looking weak.
Yeah, looking weak at the moment. Probably looking at some paper to read something maybe, or looking at his shoes.
Yeah.
Maybe anything, but they found that precise point to use as a meme.
As if anybody really believes that Trump is weak
Right,
and Biden
right,
is strong.
right. Yeah.
If you believe that, then that's interesting.
Right.
Then it's very interesting, and I love you, because I love everybody. But you're a joke. I don't respect you. I respect you as a human being, and I understand now more than ever, having lived a little bit longer and dealing with women and dealing with myself. I do notice that we do believe in sane things sometimes. So I understand.
True,
if
indeed.
you really believe that, but I have a hard time believing that people really believe that. Terrible.
Yeah, that is terrible.
Well, thank you for bearing with me through
Oh,
that.
sure thing. That's
Let's
interesting.
get to Jeremiah in Louisiana. He wants to talk about Russia and China and America. Jeremiah in Louisiana, you're on with Bigg Bump and Hake. Hope you're ready.
It is. Hey, the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it.
That's a Bible. That's a Bible verse. It's nice. Thank you.
How's it going?
Going well.
Hey, Big Bump, what's going on, Big Bump?
I'm well, man. How you doing? Nice to talk
I'm
to you.
well, brother.
Right on.
Have you talked with Bigg Bump before, Jeremiah?
I think once before. We didn't really get to converse last time, but
Right.
I believe he was there before.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about. I know we didn't really expound on it last time, but talking about Russia and China, or China last time, how they're already at the border with the old Fetty.
Oh,
but yes.
You're saying fentanyl? Is that what you said?
Right.
Okay.
What did you call it? Fetty?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a slang term for it.
I mean, it's
Like
not,
Fetty,
but,
Fetty Wap?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
But I picked up on it. See,
who
I
is
am
Fetty
black on the
Wap?
inside.
You kind of are, Hank. Yeah, because Fetty Wap, you know about Fetty Wap? Anyway.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, so basically, with Russia and China surrounding us right now, looks like they're preparing for another invasion, what I would say. But who knows? I could be wrong. I know America is very, very mighty as far as its weaponry. So not sure how far they'll take it. But if NATO and America keep testing them, then they may have no choice, right? So I just wanted to get your take on it.
Do you follow what his question is?
What take from what part
What's
of
your
that?
opinion? Your opinion on them surrounding us like this? Have they been doing this, or is this like something to get kind of paranoid about with all the recent events going on?
Yeah, it's something that's just been going on.
It's exciting, ain't it?
We live in interesting times for sure. But to the point of, I mean, that's what the Cold War was about, basically. We're being surrounded. They're being surrounded. They're waiting.
So everybody surrounding each other, just itching, huh? Itching, trigger finger, just itching.
I mean, there are players that would love that are trigger happy for sure. There's definitely players in that. I mean, there's cool heads also.
So do you believe Trump's a cool head?
Clearly. There's no doubt about that.
Clearly?
Yeah, clearly.
He's a cool head?
He's a cool head, for sure. We've seen that. Those past 4 years, what was radical that he did as far as not being a cool head. What do you think?
I think that he said some stuff that wasn't very cool-headed as far as these people that see certain destruction that they've never seen before and all that type of stuff. That don't sound like cool-headed. I've heard before there's more might in the pen than the sword, and he was always talking about using the sword. But
keyword talk. Keyword. You're saying
he
said stuff.
He's a lot of talk. He talks a lot.
And
that's
talking a lot is not necessarily action, because when you talk, you're making a say. He made threats and stuff like that. He never followed through with those threats.
Yeah, but
he never had to.
Threat, though. It's still a threat, though.
But
I mean,
you said
cool.
You said a hot-headed person would lash out. He never lashed out.
I guess you say that.
Those threats kept people in line.
I don't think it kept anybody in. Like China, he didn't keep China. He really did. That whole he did, and he actually
you're breaking
did
up a
start
bit.
war
Can
with
you
China.
repeat what you said about he didn't keep China in line, something like that?
Go
ahead.
Yeah, he didn't keep China in line, but he did start a little trading war with them. It's a little business war going on between America and China, and Trump. He didn't start it, but he didn't help it. And it actually grew. The fire actually grew, and now China's just dang. But I also want to talk about the chemical spill too. What do you think about the chemical spill?
Oh, before we go to the chemical spill, I want to make a point that his harshest language was not for China; it was for like North Korea, and he ended up meeting with that guy. Remember, he met with little Rocket Man, whom I respect. I totally respect that guy.
No, you don't.
And so, and he was. I think China and America, we argued with this, I think, last time you and I talked. They had a mutual respect for each other, and now China is doing whatever they want again.
All right.
Because
they've been doing that, though, since Trump. No, they've been doing it.
I think they were maybe, they had a little more mutual respect, it seemed. I don't know the details, so I have no proof.
Nah, negative. They were doing what they wanted when Trump was in there. And Trump was mad about it. He was mad about it.
And he was doing whatever he wanted. He was doing tariffs on China. Right. So they were both doing whatever they wanted.
And that made it worse, Hank. It made it worse. But anyway.
What do you say?
It's all good.
Hold on. Let me have Bigg Bump respond to that. You said it made it worse.
The making it worse part, that what he didn't make it worse. By Biden coming in office, they knew what was going to happen. They knew how weak that administration is, or how weak he is, how weak the administration that he's involved with is also. So they're just taking advantage of that. It's not because of Trump, anything Trump did. Trump, I mean, there's no way that things would be happening the same way if the election, if he was still in office right now.
You said if he was still in office, then
at this moment, China wouldn't be. They wouldn't be doing the things they're doing right now.
Oh wow!
I agree.
You think highly of China?
So what now?
Do you think highly of China?
I don't. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think highly of Moab, Esau, Ham, none of them. But it's interesting times, though. It's very interesting times. All these heathens are starting to boil over. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. But yeah,
he delights in destruction.
And you said something real interesting about that. About the war, the war being a banker's war. That is 100% true. That's how the heathens get down. You know? Exactly how they get down. Trying to make a buck off of calamity.
Yep. I guess everything is an opportunity.
Yeah, especially for Esau. Definitely.
So you wanted to touch. Oh, did you have a follow up?
No, go ahead.
Okay, you wanted to touch on the
toxic spills, man.
Toxic train derailment and the spill.
What's going on with that? I heard they got acid rain on the eastern seaboard. And it's going to go up. It's going to go up Canada and down the eastern coast and all that. Like, is this? Would you say this is like an agenda or a plan? Like, are we going to go into a lockdown or? What say you?
Myself or Hake?
Either or.
I don't know.
Talking about going west. I know a lot of people are talking about coming west.
It is funny how. Well, I will just.
But I mean,
I will just
a lot of
say,
spills.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I know that there's a lot of environmental disasters happening.
Yeah, going on right now.
And it's kind of funny because it's done kind of by these people who are supposed to be the big environmentalists.
Right.
So it's kind of ironic. We in a more manly world, stuff is better taken care of.
Right. Yeah. It's I'll say
your phone's kind of you're out in the wind. Try to cover your receiver, man. I'm getting some wind noise.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Nice.
Go ahead, Big Bump.
It is very coincidental. They say there's so many derailments and things like that a year. Okay, fine, but this seems way more out of tune, out of whack.
Very suspicious activity. Huh?
It can seem that way for sure.
What are you? What types of events are you talking about right now?
From the factories.
Could be like a control the masses type thing deal. You know.
No, you're saying
trying to control the masses.
Now, Jeremiah, I'm asking.
Hold
on, I'm asking Big Bump.
Oh, you're asking Big Bump. Okay,
what he's talking about is going on that looks suspicious.
So the number of factories that were being
burned down.
Mm-hmm.
Like chicken, like hen houses. Wasn't there a major hen house that burned?
Yeah.
The hen holocaust.
Yeah.
There was another one in Kissimmee that got.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if the warehouse actually got burned down, but it was like 5 acres that got burned up. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of South Carolina. Go ahead, Big Bump.
The railways, the rail system. That's one part.
The derailments, like the derailment in East Palestine with the toxic stuff.
Yeah. The
burning.
Yeah. So all those things from the food, the factories, the derailments, and the other one, just random factories, I guess.
Yeah.
All those things. So it just seems odd. It seemed like occurring more frequent than any other time.
Very weird.
But
especially with all.
But I know that our infrastructure is horrible right now.
Meaning our roads are not well kept up. The train rails are not. Those factories are old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, like and same thing with the reservoirs here in California. We haven't built up the reservoirs in decades, even though we were supposed to.
Yeah.
California.
And so we have a water crisis.
It is wicked open.
Yeah.
I've been to Cali one time. I was gonna stop by, but I forgot.
Are you gonna stop by Bond?
Yeah, I was gonna stop by Bond, but it slipped my mind.
Okay.
That's when that was like a while ago when I first got on y'all, and it slipped my mind. I had so much other stuff to do, so I didn't do it. But I'll do it next.
Sounds good.
What's the other guy's name from Cali? Not Tony. Is his name Tony? His name?
There's
Black
Tony,
guy.
There's Tony from California and Frederick.
Oh,
okay, Tony. And he said something about Russia going west, going through west, they got to go through Europe and Israel and all this. What makes him think that they're going to go?
Oh, I don't know.
Why does he not think they're not going to go? Like, east is so much closer, right? And all you got to do is skip and hop through a pond, right? And you're right there in California, right? That's crazy. I don't know what he was talking about, but he may need to look at a map.
Maybe so.
Yeah, definitely so.
Well, I appreciate it, Jeremiah.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch that. I just wanted to touch a few things with y'all, see what y'all thought. Big Bump.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Shalom, brother. Hank.
Yes.
Enjoy your kingdom.
Thank you. Bye. I was too slow. Beta. You heard the loud click. I hate that. Sorry, kids. Don't hate. That's Jeremiah from Louisiana. Was there anything else that you wanted to touch on today, Big Bump? I forget where all we left off. Oh, the EPA director.
Oh, that guy.
Do we have time for that?
Yeah, that was just real quick.
Let's get to it.
Yeah. So the EPA director went to East Palestine Ohio. I always want to say Texas because
East Palestine.
That's Palestine, Texas.
Right.
Palestine,
Yeah.
Texas. Yeah. And he goes in to tell the residents that their air and water is safe after that situation that occurred, the controlled explosion afterwards. That I don't know, in your right mind, who would go out and say, "Oh, everything is just fine.
Yeah,
everything is safe." You have people going to creeks and things and tossing objects in the water, and you see the oil.
I've seen
residue
that.
Things.
Yeah, somebody was saying over on Odyssey, taking care of business. A rainbow person runs the department. I don't know which department, he says, in Ohio or related to Ohio.
Okay.
The spill creates sunshine, rainbows, and marshmallows.
Right.
Because I've seen, and I don't have any footage of it for you guys. Maybe it sounds like it looks like Nick is gonna be pulling it up to show you guys. But they're throwing stuff in the creek, and then on the surface you see like this oily, rainbowy, colory thing.
Right.
And people are supposed to be like, "Oh, the water's clean."
Right. Yeah.
They got rid of all the
vinyl
chloride or whatever it was spilled after that train derailed.
Yeah.
And they burned They burned up this stuff on purpose, right?
Yes.
In order to get rid of the chemicals.
Right.
These toxic chemicals, because they couldn't just vacuum it up, shop vac.
No. No, that wasn't.
So they burned it, and that created a whole bunch of smoke, and there was the clouds, and that's bad to breathe, probably.
Right.
And so like they were told not to go home.
They
the
even
residents
say
in that area.
That specific that PVC would, if it gets into the atmosphere anywhere, that's forms acid rain.
Oh, so that's what he was talking about with acid rain,
That's
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah was talking about. Yeah, that's
because I hadn't heard the term acid rain since I was a little kid.
Me either. I remember fourth grade. Like, I remember hearing that was that Earth is about to end time.
Right.
Stuff,
Save the Earth.
Right.
Save the whales.
Yeah.
Fern Gully. You ever watch Fern Gully?
I watch
a little cartoon.
Every now and then I will watch it. Yeah.
She's cute.
Mildly attractive.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy how it's got, and of course.
So this guy, you have the headline. It says, the headline reads, EPA administrator Michael Regan tells East Palestine residents air and water are safe. It's a CBS Pittsburgh. He's black. He's the EPA administrator.
I know for sure that's affirmative action. For sure, without a doubt, he's an affirmative action recipient.
And so, here's one day after the Ohio train derailment.
That's one day. That's crazy.
And in the water, you can see like they're stirring up the dead fish. Disgusting conditions in waterway near East Palestine, Ohio train derailment, local woman says. And they're trying to pump the water out or in, or siphon it out or in or something. 2 days after, and it gets even worse.
Right.
Oily residue getting stirred up in the water. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Oh, that is crazy. Yeah. We're looking at the surface of the water getting stirred around by sticks. And they dig into the soil down at the bottom of the creek bed.
Just disturb it mildly.
Yeah, disturb it. And then you see, they call it disgusting, but I think it's rainbows. Taking care of business has a point. Ugh, the smell, my goodness. They don't say goodness, they said, my God, I disavow. Wow, that is wild, though.
Yeah. And I remember I was coming back from Florida. I went to go see my mom one day, my daughter and I, and or not one day, for a few days, came back, and we flew over the Gulf of Mexico, and it was during the time after the Gulf spill.
Was that like spill. BP or something like that?
And you can see like a shear
of the oil on the surface of the water.
And these people, they were still eating seafood. That was probably the time that I stopped eating
seafood. The government take care of us.
And they were like, you can see in this one river in that area where it was like foam that they were using. I forgot what the name of it was, like 95, some type of chemical that they put in the water.
To neutralize the oil or something?
Yeah, to either drop it or bring it up with one of the ways. And it was foamy and they would, and it was just toxic. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, similar to that, but it wasn't so nice looking. Like
right.
Like rainbows. It was
just black.
Yeah. Yeah, like a sheen, like something like,
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Terrible. So he's saying this guy's just talking and
Yeah.
he's just saying it's fine.
Right. And he goes off on the liberal talk of trust the science.
He said that?
Yeah, he says that. Yeah.
You literally said trust the
Yeah,
science?
He's like, trust the science. Yeah.
They're doing science experiments
Right.
by
Exactly.
poking the water and
Right.
poking the bottom of the creek bed.
If you need multiple people to come,
That's
to
a scientific experience. They trust that.
P-value. Right.
They trust what they can see.
That's actual scientific experiment.
Don't believe your lying eyes or your common sense. Trust the so-called science, which is what the government is telling you.
Right. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And he's being pushed out there to promote that without, it's crazy, regardless of what job you're in, if you see something, that's your job, don't, in a public position also that.
Yeah.
But I guess I can't say that they're going to be honest and tell the truth. That's just not the case.
The government stays paid anyway.
Yeah.
That's a government job.
Yeah. Yeah. No matter what happens, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And that was another thing with the was that the governor, DeWine? Is that his
Mike?
name?
I think Mike DeWine.
That.
Oh, there he is. EPA
Yeah.
Administrator Michael Regan visits East Palestine.
Have been tested by the state and given a clean bill of health. Yes, as a father, I trust the science. I trust
you found it. Thanks,
the
Nick.
methodology that this state is using. And as a parent, I would. But if those homes haven't tested or if they're on private well water, I would advise that they get those homes tested and continue, as Governor DeWine and the state health department has recommended, continue to use bottled water.
That's Michael Regan is soft talking. Is he more? Anyway, I don't know. I don't want to speculate.
I think I saw that he had a family. I did.
Yeah. He did say he's as a father.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff
he
like
did.
that.
Okay, yeah,
So,
he just said that. Yeah.
He just came off kind of soft.
Right. He. So I was going to say about DeWine, the governor, that he'll get that promotion. He's, for saying, hey, let's cause this, let's make this happen. Let's clean up by causing the explosion.
Right.
Try to neutralize it. He'll get his,
Nice
his
little
shine. Yeah, his
kickback
yeah,
and stuff.
for sure, no doubt.
From the feds,
Yeah.
even though he's a Republican.
Right. So he'll be around long enough. As long as he's alive, he'll be around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Michael DeWine. Was he kind of an anti-Trump guy? I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember either.
He
Yeah.
got endorsed by Trump, but he might have. They changed their. A lot of these guys changed their tune on Trump after they once they needed an endorsement.
Right. Opportunistic for sure.
Yeah.
He took advantage of that.
Terrible.
Yeah.
He's been in politics forever, since the 80s. Maybe older than that.
Another welfare baby.
Yeah. There was one other topic that you wanted to touch on, actually. Damar Hamlin and his boss. Do you know that's you sent me an article, and I'm not sure if it was the right article or not.
That's the right article.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to be vague about it.
Okay.
So we know that Damar Hamlin, the football player, the safety, if I'm not mistaken, for the Buffalo Bills, went into cardiac arrest, the 16th game of the season. So speculation and all that stuff about what happened, how it happened, and things like that. So what is it called? The article I sent you was called "I Want to Talk to You About My Mom." Oh yeah, you find it. I want to talk to you about my mom. So this is a tennis player. I think her name is Jessica Pegula.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it. And actually, her mother is the owner and CEO of the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So last year in June, it was actually on her mother's birthday. She was home, and the mother, the owner of the Bills, went into cardiac arrest. Also, they had no idea.
Her mom.
Her mom. Yes.
The owner of the
owner of the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Which blew my mind when I seen this. I seen a video and I was like, "What?" I hadn't heard that at all. Her mother is 53 years old. She's
relatively young.
Relatively young. I think she's fit. I think she also was involved in sports and things like that's why she's
involved in being an owner of a team.
Right. Her and her father. His name is. It could be Ted Pegula. So,
okay.
That and this is his second marriage, and the mother was just home one day after events or whatever for her birthday. She went into cardiac arrest. This daughter's one of the daughters came and resuscitated her.
Whoa.
And
wow.
Yeah, she so they were like for 2 weeks. She was in the hospital with that issue. They were worried about brain issues that would occur because I guess maybe she passed. She did literally pass that.
So she was like technically dead.
Yeah.
Her heart had stopped and all that stuff.
Yeah. So but the daughter did help, and I guess the daughter, and it's not this girl. It's her sister.
Okay.
Just got her CPR license, and she did bring her back.
Wow.
But it was a 2-week period where they didn't know what was going to happen. She was, I guess, they didn't know what was going to specifically happen to her. That was the question they had.
Right.
And it turned from that situation, just a cardiac arrest, a heart attack or whatever, to her being, not being able to do anything other than understand what anyone says to her.
Whoa.
She can't write, she can't respond or anything, but she can understand what's going on, I guess, from action, blinking or things like that, but she can't.
Does she look kind of Asian or like Hispanic?
She's Korean.
Okay. I think we do have a couple of pictures of her. So her dad is a little bit older and married this younger Korean woman, or younger looking, it's Koreans. Could be older.
Yeah. So that's
her. That's the woman who had the heart attack.
Yeah, Kim Pegula.
So that's her stepmom, or no?
That's her mother.
That's her real. Okay, so she's part Korean then.
Yes.
Oh,
and she's a decent tennis player also.
Yeah.
She's been to Wimbledon and won some titles in different events.
Yeah.
So that's
kind of her family or mother and father. Is that her in the number? Well, they're all number 1 jersey.
I don't know which one. Either I thought it was the one all the way to the right. Right? Yeah. Okay. Because the other one looks young.
Oh,
like
wow. The one all the way on the right is the tennis player?
Yeah. No. The one on the right is the mother. It's Kim.
Oh, all the way on the right. Okay,
That's
so
the
then
one who's
okay.
out of it. Yeah.
Man.
So I think the blonde girl is her stepdaughter.
Okay.
Because he had
a prior
prior
marriage.
I think
A
he
white
had
woman.
2 kids prior.
Okay.
And then those are she's Korean. She was from Korea. She was born in Korea.
Okay.
I guess she was abandoned, and at some age she was adopted by an American family.
Oh, wow.
So she got here. That's how she came to America. And so those are the kids. I don't even know if the one on the left is the Jessica girl that wrote that article, and she sent it to every team that they own.
Oh, wow.
They own and then put it on the site. So I guess she's involved with them somehow as well. And so this is what I was saying. When they say one day in the hospital, they said 2 weeks that they were there, but that says one day in the hospital is equal to a week in recovery. That is no joke. We were all mentally and physically exhausted. And she's a mama girl, She talks about her like she's the only thing. Like she mentions her father, but she was stuck on loving her mom up.
Yep.
Yeah. And the father seems to be a decent person from what I can gather. I didn't see anything other than the divorce and him remarrying.
Right.
There wasn't much that I seen. Maybe some sports controversy, and of course related to the Bills, but it seemed to be pretty cool.
So a relatively young mother,
Yeah.
Korean mother, fit looking,
Yeah, she
had
definitely
a heart attack. Her heart stopped. She had to get resuscitated, died,
Yeah.
kind of technically.
right.
Did Damar Hamlin technically die? I know his
They
heart
say he
stops
did.
twice.
Yeah.
If your heart stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was pronounced. They say that he was dead, so they use that.
Man.
Yeah. So it was just odd. And this is where you disavow.
Right.
But I'm just saying that it was crazy that organization
Right.
had the boss go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
And then an actual player go into cardiac arrest
On the field.
on the field. Like I said, she's only 53. She turned 53 that day. She had that. That's young to me.
That is.
I'm pretty sure she was healthy. She looked
Right.
healthy. You don't know underlying issues, but
Yeah.
they kept it under wraps until last week.
Okay. And that's
So-
when this open letter by
Yeah.
the daughter.
Yeah,
And is the daughter saying, hey,
Nope.
the vax, which I, of course, disavow.
There you go. There you go.
But they were all probably.
I'm pretty sure they were.
Probably the mother and Damar.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she was. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of the daughter. I'm pretty sure the whole family was. 'Cause
Yeah.
the daughter, if Djokovic wasn't
Right.
and he had to go through hell
Yep.
just to play.
And he's like the
recently.
number one guy in the
Right,
world.
Yeah, so I know for sure she did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
curious.
It's definitely curious. It's an
Yep.
odd situation.
Yeah. Something to be aware of.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they kept it quiet for so long.
Yeah.
They said it was in articles and news outlets that something happened to her,
Right.
but it wasn't
No real details.
no real details until February 7th is when she wrote that open
Man.
letter. Yeah. This is strange.
Yep.
This is a strange situation.
God scheduled those heart attacks, says Nick. Who knows?
Right.
Act of God.
Right. Right. There you go. Why are you removing that tumor I put in there? Yeah. Exactly.
That's funny. There's a meme. Nick found a meme of Jesus asking a doctor, "Why are you removing that tumor that I put in there?" Pretty funny. Well, guys, this has been the Hake Report. Appreciate it. Big Bump.
Sure thing. Thank you.
At Big Bump on IG, Twitter,
Truth
YouTube.
Social, SoundCloud, everywhere and anywhere you can find social media. And I'm there. It's BiggBump.
Happy President's Day. Yeah, I guess we'll just do Phil Keaggy as the closing song. This is Phil Keaggy. And what is the track name? Two
I've
Gs.
just begun again.
Nice. And William in California and the rest of the callers, you wanted to talk about a Bay Area crime up in NorCal.
Right.
Parking lot shooting. And the rest of the callers, we cannot get to you. Call me tomorrow. And Big Bump will be back with us next holiday, I guess.
Right.
Appreciate you joining, man.
Sure
It's fun.
thing. Thank you. It was fun. Had a good time.
All right, guys. Take care and enjoy the music. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.
making a go to start off right, the past behind. I know never again, never intend to show. And I try to think of things that can be done each day at a time. Whatever life demands, I've just begun. Window gun.